Hello everyone, it's Joe Jeffman Jr. and welcome to our 24th episode anniversary. Also, the reason the Grundy video was down is because I deleted it. I accidentally uploaded the file for the Clayface video, not the Grundy one. And I don't know when the Grundy and Clayface videos will come out, but it'll be soon, I know. But anyways, this video is dedicated to JSA, the first comic superhero team. And today's festivities will include the reason why they were made, a rundown of a few of the members, but not including Power Girl, because apparently she's used to be Supergirl, so I'm not counting her, and Black Canary. No, I meant her mom, because we all know her. So anyways, I also have music playing today. It's Kevin Macleod's Comfortable Mystery Free, so let us begin. In 1940, National Allied Publications and its sister company, All American Publications, which would later become DC Comics, both of them, thought to themselves, "Hey Bob, how about we make an anthology on our characters?" That's a good idea, Steve. And made All-Star Comics is dedicated to that. In the third issue, they thought, how about we just have a team of superheroes so we can raise money? Good idea, Steve. And that's why the Justice Society were made. Now here's a quick rundown of the members. The first one is the Atom. Unlike Ray Palmer or Ryan Choi, it's supposed to be what he means. He's a short guy named Al Pratt who is trained by a boxer to punch people extremely hard. And his shirt opens off to show off his muscular chest. He's with him. Next is the Sandman. Not the Lord of Dreams, but some dude named Wesley Dodds. He's more of a pulp character and doesn't have any powers. He does have a really scary gas mask, a fedora, coat, and even a terrifying gas gun, which shot sleeping gas. Next is the Spectre. Officer Jim Corrigan was murdered by gangsters and became a spirit of vengeance and killed evil people in horrific ways. Next is the Flash. And this is Jay Garrick, not Barry Allen. Jay Garrick was a college student and during an accident in the science lab, he gained his super speed. When he graduated from college, he became the Flash. Next up is Hawkman. He's a guy named Carter Hall, a museum curator or guard, depending on the version, who was an ancient Egyptian prince reincarnated. He also has a very long and complicated history in the comics, with many retcons to his character and backstory. Next up is Dr. Fate, a guy named Ken Nelson, whose dad was an archaeologist who found Nabu the Wise's tomb. When his dad was killed, Nabu's spirit raised Ken for 20 years and taught him how to become a sorcerer in his adulthood. Next up is Green Lantern. This is the first one on Scott, not Hal Jordan. Scott was a railroad engineer who found a mystic green railway lamp, which was made from metal from space, so at least we got some space stuff. He made a ring from it so he wouldn't have to haul it around. And he could recharge the ring by putting in the lantern. He put on a costume and he fought crime with it, as you do. And the final one of the original members was our man, real name Rex Tyler. He was a biochemist who invented Macleod, which can enhance your strength, vitality, and speed, but only for an hour. So he fought crime with it. And the reason why Batman and Superman weren't on the team was because they had their own titles and were kicked off the team and were honorary members. The same happened to Jay Garrick and Alan Scott. Garrick Flash after issue 6, and Scott Green Lantern after issue 7. They're replaced by 3 characters. 2 in the very next issue after Green Lantern became an honorary member, and 1 later. The first was Dr. Midnight, aka Charles McNider. A medic who had poor eyesight but can really see well in the dark and had these special goggles that can help him see. The next is Starman, real name Ted Knight. He was the protector of Opal City and had this staff that gave him many powers. He passed it on to his son Jack when he retired. like father, like son. And the final one is Wildcat, aka Ted. I never knew his last name, so I'll call him Ted. Ted was a boxer who used his boxing abilities to become a hero called Wildcat because of his kung fu skills. There's been other members like Black Canary's mom, the first Black Canary, and Power Girl, but I'm not including them because it's getting longer. And now I'm gonna read one of their comics. Okay, cut the music. Okay, it's their debut comic, All-Star Comics number 3. And there's a couple more members of the team in this, one being Johnny Thunder, a comedic character with a pen that had a Thunderbolt genie in it, but he didn't know the Thunderbolt was doing it. So we begin with Johnny whining about that he's not invited to the JSA's first meeting. Then he just fly and said, "Say you." And after saying his wish, he flies up alongside Dr. Fate. They arrive to a hotel where everyone's asleep, and he realizes the Sandman did because it's a secret. Then hijinks ensue, such as making the Flash very cold, and shrinking his head down, and making the food disappear. When it reappeared, he suggested they just tell a story of their most exciting adventures. The Atom thought that Superman, Batman, and Robin have great stories to tell, but they smokescreened the whole honoring member thing with one of them had to fight crime. So Flash's story had to do with his friends, one of his friends named Mary, whose dad was trying to find the ancient treasure of a Spanish galleon. So the Flash trots down there and takes out the cutthroats that have been sabotaging her dad and smashing his equipment. He then pushes them into Arctic waters so he didn't want to harm Mary's dad again. And he gives Mary the telegram that surprise, her dad found the treasure. Next up is Hawkman's story. Hawkman's has to do with Krakatoa, or as it's called, Krakatoa, and his assistant, Cyanida Sanders. And they're warned by one of the members of it that it's forbidden information. Apparently, they make a blunder right here where he gets a weapon. He's like, the Hammer of Thor. He was a blacksmith, so his hammer should do alright. First of all, Thor was the god of thunder, not a blacksmith. Second, how do you even get it? And number 3, if he had it, why would he need his mace? Wait, look here. If you could see that, it's a mace, not a hammer. So he and Sayana go there, and flame-proof clothes. Turns out the Fire Ghost was just a scientist using the power to make himself powerful, and the guy just died. And they got back home. Next up is the Spectre. Apparently, there's a killing spree with the Mighty from the dark side of the moon. And the commissioner tells him that it has to stop. Then he becomes the Spectre, and challenges him if whoever won't get the Red Moonstone of Ysgartel must leave Earth forever. So they fly up there, and the Spectre grabs onto a star and flies up there. He then defeats and he throws the gemstone back into space. So the murder case goes unsolved, and it's all safe for everyone to continue. Next up is Our Man. And he says that his boss wanted Rex Tyler to take his niece out to the Durant Estate costume ball. And he said he didn't have a costume, and his boss was angry. And he was all like, "You don't have a costume? You know this company has a very strict cosplay policy." Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw someone dressing up as Jack Ryder, aka the Creeper, or Jason Voorhees. I'd pay to see that. So he dresses up as Iron Man, and there's a group of Iron Mans who are going to steal the gems. And apparently the gems were fakes, and the owner wanted to collect on the insurance cash. Okay, and next up is Sandman. Before we get to him, we're interrupted by Ma Hunkle, aka the Red Tornado, a superhero parody. She just puts some cooking pot on her head and she fights crime with it. And she just dashes off immediately because, look, and apparently, she lost her pants and look here. Yeah, so Jay Garrick, Our Man, and Johnny are really laughing. And before we continue, it's apparently there's some more ads. The first is for Adventure Comics for the Sandman and Our Man, All American Comics for Alan Scott, Flash Comics for Jay Garrick and Hawkman, Action Comics Superman, and Batman and Detective Comics out for Batman and Robin. And of course we get the apparently the cover DC Comics. So the Sandman man and his girlfriend found a tall man about 20 feet tall, and he has a needle which he's a doctor. Apparently, he said that there's a huge bag of human flesh from a man's bone inside it. But wait, aren't we all that? So, as a Sandman, he goes undercover along with his girlfriend, and they find an elephant-sized rat and cat. And apparently, it's revealed a would-be victim of the guy said that guy who's doing all this is because he made a grow. Except the guy that did all this is making a formula that makes you go to a giant, but you would wear off, but your skin won't, making you basically fall apart and die essentially. The Sandman defeats the guy, and he and his girlfriend solve the case. Next up is Dr. Fate, and he says, "As you know, I'm not a human. I never was a child. I had no youth. The elder gods created me just as I am now and placed me here on Earth to fight evil sorcery." Yeah, it's because his origin I mentioned actually wouldn't happen until a year after this story, so you're welcome. And for Dr. Fate, his girlfriend was given a box that had knockout gas, and woman says and she's out unconscious, or so this woman tells her we're in grave danger. She calls upon Dr. Fate, and they fight many monsters by the apparent characters she sent, such as the squiggly line monster, the two unicorns in green, and the three witches of Endor. I always knew the walks weren't up to no good. They were just hiding it. So then, Dr. Fate apparently defeats him, and they ask for Johnny Thunder, and he says, "Oh shucks, I'm kind of modest. So years I ran a story about that time happened to me. It's on the next 2 pages. We'll hear from the Atom." And then I thought there was like, "Doc, what the hell is he talking about?" He's like, "I'm not sure. Maybe his brain didn't grow back the size of the rest of his head." And so now we're not gonna get into for the Johnny Thunder story because I don't know. And next there's the editors thinking that and guess what? Even shows pictures of the Spectre, Jay Garrick, and Alan Scott. Well, that's cool. Next up is the Atom. And apparently the Atom, apparently some thieves are going into the gold caches of the USA. And apparently he was knocked out because he tried landing on it and he fell over. His girlfriend rescued him, and they started on their trek over there. We even got some character development where Diam says he hates Al Pratt, and she asks of her 2 cents. And so he managed to defeat the dudes, and And I actually think we should start with this one, to be honest. Yeah, the Atom also appears in All American comics of Green Lantern. And next up is Green Lantern. Before we can get to his story, a mailman comes in and asks for one of the JSA dudes to run over the Trotter, Prancer, Cavort, but not Scamper, over and meet up with the chief of let's see, of the FBI. And anyway, so Green Lantern tells the story of a crime wave that's happened. And apparently the commissioner, they blame the commissioner for it and they want a new one. And apparently the commissioner is thrown out of office because they thought he'd taken a bribe. And their man, Lacey, infiltrated it. Alan Scott became the Green Lantern, and after dealing with the crew, he hypnotizes them into revealing the truth. Lacey is apprehended, and the old commissioner returns to his post as commissioner. And at the end, the Flash comes back, and he said that the chief of the FBI wants them all to come over next Tuesday so they could meet up. And that's revealed in the next issue, fighting Nazis and saboteurs and such. They were quite the World War II heroes. And Jay Garrick says, "Just one last word, boys and girls. While I leave with the rest of the fellows, be sure to read the announcement of our editors on the next page." Yeah, he also broke the fourth wall. And the editors of All Star Comics are saying they are just applauding every kid for reading it, but what if it was an adult? And they want to make it from a quarterly magazine, and make it a bi-monthly. One sec. How's my dad, Joe Jeffton Sr.? And he wanted to say thank you for my 25th video. And now, with all that said and done, what are my opinions on the JSA? They're real good. As for the story, it's real good too. The art's the golden age, and here comes my dog Gigi. Say hi, Gigi. Yes. And the only problem with it is that I really wanted Adams, Green Lanterns, Flash, and Flashes to be the beginning, and Spectre, Dr. Fate, and Sandman's for the end. But that's real minor. And that was my JSA video. Maybe I'll do something like this for a Justice League. I don't know. But anyways, as always, remember, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out, y'all.